I'd like to ask you a question. Where does your food come from? Where was the food that you had for lunch grown? Geographically, do we know where it was grown? Do we know who grew it? Do we know if chemicals were used to grow that food? And if they were used, which chemicals and how many chemicals? Do we know how the food was transported? Do we know how it was stored? What sort of food processing it went through? The fact is, these days, we don't know where our food comes from. We eat 3 times a day and we have no idea. We've lost the relationship with where our food comes from. And that's a symptom of a much deeper loss. And that loss is our relationship with Mother Earth, the foundation of all our life. Chuck. This soil is alive. From Solitude Farm in Oroville, millions of microorganisms, molds, bacteria, insects, earthworms, fungi, small animals. It's the life in the soil that's directly proportionate to the fertility of the soil. Life is fertility. And if you like, we could interchange these 2 words with Mother Nature, or in India, Bhumidev. Every single civilization on this planet has recognized the divinity of the soil and had a dynamic relationship with where its food comes from. You know, you take India, look at the architecture, the vast array of languages, the almost infinite diversity of cuisine, the music, the dance, the spirituality, the Ayurveda. It's awe-inspiring, this country, the culture. And it has emerged due to a society that's recognized the divinity of the soil and had a dynamic and healthy relationship with where its food has come from. Now, where are we today in the world? Industrialized agriculture, it's defined the nutritional profile of our society. It's the coin that decides what we shall eat. Now, I give you an example of bananas. So, if you put a coin in the shop and you buy a banana, that's what you get, a banana that's passed through this whole industrialization. You go to a field and you go to take the bananas from the tree. The first thing is you don't take a banana, you take the banana flour. Now, the banana flour you can make vadais with, a curry, a sabji, a salad. And then you have banana stem. Again, curry, sabji, salad. You also make a juice, very good for the kidneys, for removing kidney stones. And then you have the bananas themselves, or plantain. Plantain's high in vitamin C and absorbic acid. In Solitude, we peel it and make chips and dry it and make a flour. We mix it with ragi, very delicious doses. And you see that it's by honoring that diversity of nutrition that nature has to offer us, as opposed to the coin, you get 1 banana. You know, that's all you get. From a very arbitrary, valuation, economic valuation, we lost the diversity of Mother Nature, and that undermines our society and our very well-being and our culture. So 25 years ago, I came to settle in India. I was 19 years old, and I had spent the last 4 years in the J. Krishnamurti School in England, where I discovered Masanobu Fukuoka while helping run the vegetable garden. We had a walled Victorian garden where we produced a lot of the food for the school. Now, Fukuoka was a Zen master farmer, and he had a very profound insight that nature is already perfect. There's nothing you can do to improve upon nature. So he developed a type of farming called natural farming, or do-nothing farming, which, contrary to the sort of industrialized way of farming, it was a non-interventional way of farming. It recognized nature's natural systems and processes and tried to work with that rather than, trying to do more and more things. Now, about 13 years ago, I had the chance to meet him in Vandana Shiva's farm in Dehradun, and he's a short guy with the indigo kimono and the wooden chapels, and he didn't talk so much, but he drew a spiral, and he said, this is symbolic of man's action on this planet. Man's always spinning out from himself. Economics, healthcare, agriculture, education, he's always going out. So Fukuoka was if you take agriculture, it starts off with like machinery, tractors, combines, the whole petrochemical machinery thing. And then it goes to chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, fertilizers, destroying the soil ecology and also polluting the waters. Then you have things like genetically modified crops, which are responsible for a genocide of biodiversity. So Solitude Farm is a direct response to this problem in our world today, not only on an agricultural, nutritional level, but on all levels of our society. And we've basically identified 3 steps where we authentically demonstrate this philosophy of non-intervention, of doing less, do-nothing farming that Fukuoka laid out. And those 3 steps are, firstly, to honor all the organic matter around us. We see leaves and we sweep them up and we burn them and we throw all this organic matter away. But it's a gift of Mother Nature. The biomass, the bioresource around us is our profit. It's not a financial profit, it's a nutritional profit. Because when you look at nature, naturally, the leaves and all the organic matter forms, it makes a healthy soil ecology and you get Amazon rainforest from there. It's not a product of a clever mind. So that's the first step. And when we develop systems and techniques where we use all the organic matter, return it back to the soil becomes very alive and healthy. It takes on a dynamic soil ecology, which is Bhumidev. That is the Shakti of this country. And when we have that great diversity of soil ecology, the nature will offer us a lot of gifts. So in Solitude Farm, we have over 100 different plants that we're honoring. It's not that I am growing them. They are growing, and we honor them. So the first example of that is the chicken spinach. Now, I choose this plant because it's growing in abundance where I live. Everywhere it grows, outside schools, outside homes, outside offices. And for me, this is just like, it's considered a weed, but for me it's a shamanic superfood. This is like a character in the drama that's our beautiful food forest. In our cafe that's on the farm, we use it to make a green smoothies, vegan, sugar-free ice cream. It's used in pestos, it's used in salads, in sabjis, in soups. It is highly honored. And we've created an economic value for it. And the irony of that is not giving it an economic value. We've understood its nutritional value and its medicinal value, which are one and the same. It's not a cliche. Food and medicine is one. And then we've understood that it has a social and a cultural significance and an ecological importance. And thus it's a very prominent part in our cafe on our farm. Now the next character is the green papaya. So the green papaya, for me this plant could start a social revolution. You throw the seeds over your shoulder, you come back in a few months' time, the plant is up, you peel the papayas, you grate it, a little chili and peanuts, it's Indian. A bit of soy sauce, it's Asiatic. You can make kimchi, you can make chutneys. We make a cordon bleu, lemongrass, coconut milk soup with the green papaya. That's a Thai salad. This dish here is a vegan raw noodles with the green papaya with a pesto sauce. It's very, very special. It's accessible to everyone. This is not exclusive. Everyone can be eating that if they will open their eyes and understand the value of these plants. It's simply by eating them, by recognizing the value, it'll lead you to the next one and to the next one. Also, they have no food miles, and that's a very significant point. You see, in Oroville, when we or anywhere, when we eat carrots, for example, where I live, and carrots they come from far away, so they have food miles. They have an ecological cost. There are a number of factories built to manufacture a lorry that brings a carrot to our plate. That ecological cost is our responsibility. It's not anyone else's. So when we start to see, well, this is everywhere, the quantity is in abundance, the nutritional value is very high. This is touted as a cancer cure. It's good for gastrointestinal problems. It has a high amount of carotenoids, which changes into vitamin A in the body, much higher than carrots. And you see, well, why aren't we using those things? That leads us to ask, where are we going if we don't value these things? The third step of the farm of valuing, honoring Mother Nature is to honor the community, and honoring the community with celebration. So on the farm, we started Lively Up Your Earth, which is an eco-music festival. And the last one in particular was very beautiful. It had a giant butterfly parade and shiatsu massage circle and music and permaculture workshops. And someone was in a treehouse reading your fortune. A very beautiful moment of bringing people together. You look in the villages traditionally, there was festivals all the time. A month of bhajans and a puja here and music and street theater and the art with the columns, and always together with food. People were coming together. The coming together was like affirming our identity on a social level. And now what are our festivals? They're 1 day, 2 day, highly commercialized, Diwali, Christmas, these type of festivals. It's very, very important that we honor the creativity in our society as we honor those local plants, which are they're reflected into this community when we use them. There are 3 levels of engagement that the farm offers to our community to start exploring this road back to nature. The first level of engagement is to invite people to come and have lunch in the cafe. So every day there's food on the table. That's banana stem and pumpkin flowers and millets in the dosa and all sorts of beautiful food, which, as I say, has no ecological cost and has a nutritional, medicinal, social, cultural, and ecological relevance. Now, hopefully, if you come and eat that, that would lead you, these are leaves of the soursop tree, 10,000 times more effective in the treatment of cancer than chemotherapy. The sankapu, the shankapushpa, and the hibiscus we make juices with. This is the green smoothies, which is very well known with the sankapushpa also. Good for memory, good for uterus. All these plants are shining lights of Ayurveda, and we buy our medicines in little brown bottles for 130 rupees. They're all around us. So the 3 steps of engaging people after the cafe, hopefully that would lead you to take a basket of fruit and vegetable once or twice a week. So you sign up for 6 months in advance, and you don't choose what's in your basket. If you don't know how to use a banana flower, you come to the cafe and you learn, because you're part of a community that's empowering you to make this adventure together. Now, the 3rd step, which hopefully that will lead you to, is to have your own circle garden. Now, this circle garden is a beautiful little module because it's very simple to do. It honors this utilizing a large amounts of organic matter and a diversity of intercrops. And the beauty of it is it's easy to replicate anywhere. 3 or 4 of us, we could make one in the next hour. And you can make it in a school, in outside offices, in public spaces, outside your garden, in hotels like this. In this particular picture, it's some kids who have reclaimed a wasteland in their village, and they've grown that garden like that. And most importantly, they start to eat that food, cook it and eat it. And so you see, over the years, in this in solitude, I can see something beautiful is emerging. And it's simply by honoring the soil, which is this earth, this country, honoring the soil and honoring the gifts that she offers to us and using them, honoring them by eating them. And I see that reflected in my community, in the cafe, in the education, in the workshops, in the festival, music and dance. And it's as though that culture, the arts, are the very adhesive that brings us together as a community. And what's interesting is I can see change emerging, but it's not strategic. There's nothing clever about me. Fukuoka said, only a fool will understand natural farming. We're talking about change as the only constant, but change isn't something that we can bring about. Mother Nature is already perfect, so I invite you to look in your bioregions, look where you live, explore what is local food, and start to honoring it. Start to honor it in your diet, in your food, and you will see change happens. Change starts to emerge of its own accord. I'm going to sing you a song. alone in joy. Oh, cry and bear it all. Myself a call, I'm just an echo on a distant wall. Oh, could it be that beauty's kiss tonight draws me far from my tomorrows? Say my prayers and I'll say them right. And I get so tired of being stuck in this place where there's just no room and there's no space. It's like these buildings, they crowd the sky. Very land on which we stand is so dry, nothing seems spared. Oh, have you seen my mind? It's hard to say where it begins and where it ends. Where was I before I was born? And the wife with no child will beg to the skies to deliver the joy that from her eyes like constellations may shine. The alone is sweet, a heady wine. The alone is sweet, but it cries from my eyes. And I guess someday it'll all just come together. These dreams and perceptions, integration forever. Cause there's nothing to have and no, there's nothing to hold. And what you really want, you don't even know. But we fight tooth and nail to reach the front of the queue. And when I'm right, I step over you. Oh, have you seen my mind? It's hard to say where it begins and where it ends. Where was I before I was born? And where will they go? The culture's no more than the remnants of a genetic code. Stars overwhelmed by the mobile phone are reaping all the fruits of the seeds we've sown. The compromise is getting wider, the river's polluted, a racing we are. Beholder, bewildered, not belonging, believing. Oh, I defy the line that's drawn to define me.